All right, so leaving off where we were, we just finished the smartboard file of what you would go through with the egg cartons, going at a pretty fast clip going through those. And because then you do have activity 2 where we come together and we practice. We could either use this one or you can make use of this one, whichever one you like better. I do have this that you should probably just print out and have up in your classroom somewhere for a kid to go look and see, how should I split an egg carton up in halves? How should I split it up in thirds? They would have that already done for them in the first activity. Like they should have already done that. But if theirs is totally messed up, you might just want to give them this sheet and be like, you know what? Why don't you just use this? Okay, so the practice for it looks like this. So now we're going to practice with some. So now here's one that's already done. So now we're going to go ahead and try A. And yeah, they're not going to finish all of these probably, but let's try a few. If you're like, man, we only have 10 minutes to do this, then I would go to number 2 right away and say we need to look at 3/6 and 2/4. So you're going to go up here and strategically pick 3/6 and 2/4. So maybe you start with 2/4 and you're like, all right, we need to fill in 2/4 of this egg carton, meaning we need to split it up into fourths. Remember how we split up into fourths? If you don't remember, check the sheet. Okay, so then we would go ahead and we would, let me do this with you. All right, so then I would split it up into 4 parts. And then I would color in 2 of those fourths. And then I'd go down here to 6. And I'd say, how did we split it up into 6 parts? It was like this. If you don't remember, check the sheet. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts, and now I need to shade in 3 of them. So 1, 2, 3 of those 6. That was a total of 6 eggs. This was a total of 6 eggs. 2/4 and 3/6. What can you observe about those 2 fractional amounts? They're the same. They produce the same amount of eggs in an egg carton. Or if you're just talking about 3/6 and 2/4 anywhere in the world, that is the same amount if we're looking at the same thing like an egg carton, or maybe we're looking at a candy bar, whatever. 3 is half of 6, 2 is half of 4. They both are equivalent to half of something. All right, then we have number 3, which is more, 1/4 of a dozen or 1/3 of a dozen. So is 1/4 up here? Yes. Is 1/3 up here? Yes. So again, if you're not going to be able to produce this entire sheet, just have them do 1/3 and 1/4. How do we split it up into 1/4? We just did that. That's 3 eggs. 1/3 is 4 eggs. Oh, wow. 1/3 is actually just a little bit more than 1/4. Okay? How do you know? Because we just did 1/4 of a dozen is how many eggs? 3. And 1/3 of a dozen is 4. 4 is more than 3. Alrighty, there's that activity. So then on Friday, you end with your quick check for the day. Scroll down, find Fridays. And then we'd have a new smartboard file to work through. And this one looks like this. Let me show you. Once you download it, it'll look like this. So kids are on their whiteboards. This first page, I would just delete it. But this one you would have up on their whiteboards. They're trying to write, how much is this worth of the egg carton? The way I split it, what fraction am I looking for? Then you would go ahead and go, whoosh, ooh, it's 8, 8 of something. What was I showing you in green? Are those fourths? No, those are 12ths. 8/12 of the egg carton. Now, what if it looks like this? Oh, it's still what? Oh, I have 4. I have 4. It's still the same amount, but this time I cut it up differently. Now, of those chunks, I have 4 of them, and what is them? Those are not 8ths anymore, or what did I have before? 12ths, sorry, 12ths. They're not 12ths, they're now 6ths. But that was the same amount as what we just did. And then this one, same amount, but this time we're looking at it differently. Now I have 2 of them, and we're working in thirds, okay? Then we put it all together. What can we say about all of those fractional amounts? They are the same value, and those are known as equivalent fractions. Then your activity 2 is going to be an equivalent fraction page that looks like this. It's also linked up right here under activity 2. Let me get back to it. Right here, student practice page. So you're going to want to draw on there with them and show. See, I cut it up in different ways. So here I cut it up into sixths. Here I cut it up into thirds. Here I have 2 of those 6. Here I just have 1 of those thirds. 2 6 is equivalent to 1/3. It's the same amount of eggs, but we're just looking at it differently with different fractional pieces. All right, okay. One they could always go back to would be twelfths, which makes everybody feel good. All right. There you have it. I did put, we're going to go into module 2 once we get back from Thanksgiving. It'll be crunch time because we'll only have 3 weeks, and we'll also need to get in the iReady diagnostic before going into Christmas. Here are some puzzle packs for you for your flooding groups, and those I now have bought from Greg Tang for the year, so each week there'll be another pack for you. This is grade 3 level. You would not tell them that, but this is going to be an easier level to do than this one. So you decide what your group should get. So if you click on this puzzle pack that's grade 3, it does not say grade 3 on it. It actually says level C up here, so they would not know, which is good. Scroll down, you have different ones to pick from. Okay? Yeah, awesome. All right. Okay, you guys, there it is.